Hello, this is Commander TX20 speaking, and welcome to guess what? Something I have not uploaded. Drop my phone. Something I have not uploaded yet, and yet, like, one of my ex-girlfriends and my new girlfriend both wanted me to do it, and friggin', like, I got 100 views on the last video, I guess. So I'm guessing I'll have to do it now. I'm so sorry this is late, but you know me. I'm never consistent yet. So we're gonna be reading Rainbow Dash Seduces a Watermelon Part 2. So, or, you know, the Part 2 of the video. So, let's continue this. So I believe we were at, yeah, okay. I have a sore throat, so bear with me, please. Also, I'm wearing my lucky antique top hat of luck and niceness, and my purple Kane the 69th suit. The guy who is right there. So let's do this thing. When they arrived at the balcony leading to her bedroom, she pushed open the doors and landed on the bad... What? The bad. Belly up. I think that's a typo to mean bed. The watermelon rested on her abdomen, juices still dripping down the front. Oh yeah, I remember this. God damn it. She tracked the drops as they slid down its sleek smooth skin, anticipating the big moment. When the drops hit her fur, she moaned louder than even before. These fanfic writers might. Quickly, she brought the fruit up to her face and dragged her tongue up along the path the drop had taken, going slow along its skin. She had to tip the fruit to reach the lip, and when she did, at least a fourth glass of watermelon juice spilled all over her face. Oh, sweet Celestia, I don't care anymore. I want him now. What the frick is this? She rolled over on her stomach, her head just above the luscious fruit and holding it with her hooves, and gazed lovingly at it. She admired every contour of its completely round surface. Each small black dot was his seed. What? What's that, you ask? She asked the watermelon. You want me to do what? She blushed. You're a very dirty watermelon. It's kind of like me with a pillow. Kidding. God damn it. But she would gladly comply with her lover and leaned back on the bed frame. The watermelon was between her legs again, and she positioned a hoof over the fruit just as before, though over a new untouched spot. She gently pressed down on the fruit, seeping more juice from the fruit and more moaning from Rainbow Dash. She first went slow, being gentle with him, but then soon began pushing hard.
Your mom's on the phone.
Ah, okay. I will be back. Thank you, Mom. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. My mother wanted to tell me some things I already knew about high school. And if you didn't already know, yes, I'm in high school now. For the past videos that you've been seeing, they have been all shot when I was in junior high. So, gently push them harder, faster, squirting. Okay, I guess I'll go here. She first went slow, being gentle with him, but then soon began pushing harder and faster. Juice began squirting into the air, and Rainbow Dash tilted him so that it would squirt on her. After a minute, her entire chest and abdomen were covered in his liquid gold. Wouldn't it be liquid red? Nah. Huh? She looked at the watermelon and smiled. Anything for you, Mel. She stopped hoofing the fruit and looked down at her own juice-covered body. She brought her hooves to her underside and began rubbing the juice into her coat, groaning as she did. Ooh, this feels good. I'm not going to try to do impressions, guys. Because if you heard my impressions, you'd be very disappointed. Or be cringing, or be covering your ears and getting off this video, which you should be right now by the time if you haven't even seen the first one. Glad you still stuck along. No longer having a hoof to keep her from slipping. She began sliding off the bed frame and laid down on her bed, her legs spread and extended, her hooves resting on her body. She began frantically licking them, trying to get every last drop of her lover's sweet, sticky fluids. When she noticed something was missing, she looked down and saw what was wrong. Mel wasn't there. In his place was a small watermelon-sized hole in her bed. She face-hooved and flew out the window. Stupid, stupid, stupid! How could I forget he'd fall through the clouds? Wait, how does she get food? Does she have like a refrigerator at all? Because can she hold her food? If it's gonna fall right through, then I don't get it. Maybe it's like cloud food or something. I don't know. Something that Pegasi eat that no pony else eats. I don't friggin' know. She saw him plummeting down towards the earth and doubled her speed. I'm coming, Mel! She sped like a bullet to save her lover. He was a mere 24 feet from the ground when she caught him, and he gently glided back down to the earth. When her hoofs touched down, she hugged the watermelon tightly. Oh, I'm so glad that you're all right, she said, tears in her eyes. I promise to never do that to you again. She looked down at the fruit and met her lips with it. She kissed the fruit with immense passion, more than she thought she'd ever have with any pony. That's a little sad. Well, this whole thing is sad. God damn. After a few seconds, she opened her mouth during the kiss and let her tongue explore his descendant surface. She felt one of the grooves that her hooving made, and she lifted her head slightly, whispering, Do you want it? In silent approval, she lowered her head back down and began licking the rim of the groove with her tongue, going ever so slowly so as to savor his flavor. Soon she stopped teasing him and stuck her tongue straight down into the hole, jutting it in and out. She moaned through the melon, closing her eyes to absorb every last pleasurable moment. Sorry. She lowered her to her knees and eventually fell flat on her belly, never once taking her mouth off her lover or her tongue out of his hole. Okay, sick. As she burrowed deeper into the fruit, more juices began secreting, to which she simply lapped up and swallowed. Suddenly, she felt something hard in the groove. She maneuvered her tongue so as to break it free, and then lifted her head to see. In the hole was a small black seed. What's that? She asked Mel. You want me to swallow it? She smiled deviously. I'll do better than that. She sat back up and began hoofing the fruit again, this time much more vigorously. Skipping the gentlest as before, she was ravenously hungry for him, and she wouldn't stop until both he and she were satisfied. She hoofed in many different spots, creating more and more dents in the fruit. Yeah, you like that, don't you? You're a real dirty, filthy melon. It's only filthy because it's been on you too much. Ah! Okay, I'm done. What the frick is this, Mike? And in those grooves were more black seeds. When she thought she had found enough, she began attacking each of the holes hungrily. She noticed that her wings were completely erect, and it gave her an idea. She picked up the melon and poured its juices all down her back. The moment the liquid hit her back of her neck, she cried out incredibly loud. She poured it all over her from her hair to her flank. She was soaked in his sweet stickiness. She grabbed for breath, letting her tongue hang out of her mouth in a relaxed, blissful smile. Huh? She put her ear to the melon. Oh, that's really kinky. She hoofed at the melon more until there was a small puddle of his fluids, and she soaked her hooves in it. She then went to work doing as he said. First she covered her face in him, getting behind her ears and all around her neck. Then she proceeded to coat her wings to make sticky substance, being sure to make sexy noises for him. Then she put her hooves on either side of her flank and began rubbing the already wet cutie marks with the juice. This elicited a loud yelp from Rainbow Dash, who did not expect such a feeling. I don't think I would either, at this point. When she finished, she was officially coated head to hoof in her lover, and now she was going to do something she'd been wanting to do for a while. She laid back down in the grass, ignoring the various clumps of filth that stuck to her sticky coat. What she was going to do was far dirtier. I want you in my mouth, she moaned as she took a bite out of Mel. She felt him inside her and shuddered in pure glee. He tasted incredible. Well, I wouldn't really be happy about that, because I'm not the biggest fan of watermelon in general. Except for the green. I actually do enjoy eating the white and green part of the watermelon, the parts that most people leave by. She slowly chewed on the piece of him in her mouth, savoring each and every drop of his fluids. Eventually she found something hard, and recognized it as a seed. She looked down at Mel stuck her tongue out, the seed on the tip. I'm going to swallow your seed, Mel. Oh, what the hell? What? Oh, crap. What the hell is this? Why am I reading this? Freaking idiot, that's why. She said seductively. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Rainbow Dash? Thank you. Someone's gonna stop this monstrosity. Some sort. Like, this is Rainbow Dash going mental. Time froze for her in that exact moment. The seed just halfway down her throat, she choked on the small round pellet, eventually swallowing it, and she looked up at the source of the voice. Her friends all stared in awe at the Pegasus drenched in watermelon juice and standing seductively over a watermelon. Boy, what a sight she must have been. She quickly stood tall and tried to look casual. Oh, hey girls, I was just, enjoying that watermelon. Twilight didn't smile. Instead, she cocked her head to the side. Yes, you certainly were. How long were they standing there? It would have been funny if they were just watching her the whole time, like every second. Like just secretly they were all invisible watching her in her house and everything, and then finally decided to speak up. She slumped her shoulders and looked down at her love, then back up. You know what? Fine, I give up. You want to know? Fine. Okay. She took a deep breath. I'm in love with him. Romeo and Juliet. Except that's a way better story than this. Heavy Pony looked taken aback. I don't think that's the right way to put it. I mean, I can understand what he's getting at, but it's kind of worded improperly. What? Rarity exclaimed. Rainbow dear, you cannot be in love with a fruit. Now I can understand really liking a fruit, and perhaps even to the extent that you have been, but in love with one? Wait, what? Oh, no. Okay. She shook her head. Look, you girls may just see a fruit, but I see much more than that. To me, Mel's a watermelon. He's a... Hold on a second, Applejack interrupted. You named him Mel? She ignored her. He's a watermelon with a great personality and a beautiful body and... A watermelon? Fluttershy said plainly. Even she wasn't impressed. Yes, she said agitated. And if... And he loves me, and I love him. And if you girls can't accept that, then I'm not inviting you to the wedding. What? What? She then looked down at Mel and got on one knee. I know it's the guy that's supposed to do this, but I just can't wait. Mel, will you marry me? There was a moment of silence, the others watching their watermelon-soaked friend as she proposed to a fruit. her head is a fruit. Then Rainbow lit up with glee. He said yes! Woohoo! Every pony turned to see Pinkie Pie jumping up and down from behind the others. She jumped into the circle her friends had made around Rainbow Dash and hugged her despite being covered in clumps of dirt and sticky as cotton candy. Congratulations, Dashy! After she broke off her hug, Rainbow Dash was in tears again. Thanks, Pinkie. You can be the mayor of honor. Pinkie's eyes lit up and she turned towards the others. You can all be bridesmaids too if you can accept us. Finally, Twilight spoke up. What the hey? What the hey? I'm all for what? I think it's kind of sweet, Fluttershy said, laughing at her own pun. Why are they okay with this? Also, screw you, Fluttershy, for saying that. I hate puns. That's why I don't watch Annoying Orange. I just hate puns. I like Annoying Orange. I don't really like the show that much, even with Toby. It makes it slightly bearable, but it's just bad. It's bad. Ugh. Ugh, I hate puns. I hate this story. I hate everything. I hate life. I hate this top hat. I hate this suit. I hate this shirt. I hate this necklace. I hate these pants. I hate that headset. I hate that computer. No, I love this computer. This is my lover. I married this a long time ago. And I'm just kidding to everything I hated. Except for this story! And puns. Anyways. In a way, Applejack stated, it's kind of like my Uncle Fritter marrying an apple tree. No, because it's an apple tree. And it makes sense. Because they're apple family. So they love apples so much as to marry an apple tree. That doesn't make as, that makes more sense than a watermelon and Rainbow Dash. It's like the same logic of Tank and Rainbow Dash. They just don't mix, but yet they work. But this does not work. Or mix. It's like a bad fruit smoothie. Because it only has watermelon and blended pony. That's a little bucked up, but you know what I mean. Anyways, they were real happy together. Had a bunch of little baby apples. What the fudge? They all looked at Rarity, who sighed. If it makes you happy, then I'm happy. No! They all then went in for a group hug, save for Rarity, who looked appalled. When asked why she refrained, she said, well, have you forgotten she had just been partaking with a watermelon? She's all sticky from the juice. Oh, come on, Rarity, Rainbow Dash said, holding Mel in her hooves. The group hug ended then, and she looked down lovingly at him. This is the best day of my boom! 1 second she was ogling her lover, and the next a huge explosion covers every pony in juice. Yes! Great way to end the story! But it's not over. Damn. Covers every pony in juice. She opens her eyes to see every pony and the surrounding area covered in watermelon juice and pieces of red fruit. Her jaw hung open at the few remains of Mel in her hoof, just a piece of rind. No! She called out as loud as she could. Hey! She looked over to see Scootaloo covered in pieces of watermelon licking her own hoof. You said that watermelon tasted horrible, but it's not. Stop licking my fiancé! Rainbow Dash demanded. What? Scootaloo looked puzzled. What have you done? Rainbow questioned. Thank you, Scootaloo, so much. Scootaloo was brushing parts of Mel off her coat. Scootaloo was brushing parts of Mel off her coat. There's quotations there for some reason, I don't know why. Well, when you said that shooting stuff from a cannon was lame, I thought, why not get shot from a cannon instead? Rainbow Dash fell to her knees, clutching at the last piece of Mel left in her hooves. Wait. Shooting stuff from a watermelon, from a cannon. Shooting yourself out of a cannon is still shooting stuff out of a cannon. Shooting things out of a cannon isn't lame. It's dangerous, but it's not lame. Look on 1,000 Ways to Die and you'll see how it's dangerous. Sorry. Excuse me. Ooh, 20 minutes in. I have no life. Clutching the last piece of metal left in her hoofs, Twilight put a hoof on her shoulder. He was a good watermelon, Dashi. She sniffled. I loved him so much. A little too much. Scootaloo scratched her head. Am I missing something here? Man, Scoot's a genius, Apple Bloom said. Do you think she'll want her party cannon back? Sweetie asked her. She shook her head. Not if we bring it right back. Look at Scootaloo go. They both looked up to watch Scootaloo fly through the air, coming down to the ground. Then Apple Bloom had a thought. Hey, do you think we should have given her something besides just a helmet? Nah, Sweetie said. What could possibly go wrong? Apple Bloom's pupils shrank at the sight of a big red cloud that erupted where Scootaloo had landed. Maybe that? That's really funny. Sweetie looked at, and her eyes went wide as well. Maybe she's all right. They heard her lamenting call echo through the air from where Scootaloo landed, and Apple Bloom bolted. Hey, she called, her voice cracking. Where are you going? I was never here, Apple Bloom called back. I was decorating the clubhouse all day. But what about the cannon? She asked. Just leave it. Sweetie looked back at the cannon and ran after Apple Bloom. Hey, wait for me! And that concludes Rainbow Dash Seduces a Watermelon, read by Kane, or Commander TX20, on an Android that I hate. I prefer Apple. I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Jobs and his work, but I prefer an Apple over an Android or Samsung any day, honestly. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, or even listening if you didn't bother to watch the video of it. This is like my first fanfic reading, so it's not one of those like real fanfic readers who are like really into this kind of stuff and like take this really seriously. I just read it for the heck of it. And yeah, if you guys want me to read more fan fictions, then yeah, sure I will. I don't want too much like sexual content like yet, like honestly, because my mother would kill me for one, and for two, I guess it's I don't know. Give me some good fanfics, and I'll read them out loud. And maybe I could do even like role plays if you guys want. On like Gmod, or Minecraft or something like that. So yeah. So thank you all for watching COMMANDERTX20. I hope this does not corrupt because I don't want to have to read this whole thing again.